Good morning, YouTube. Well, today I am just north of Traverse City. That's the Grand Traverse Bay right there behind me, in the lower part of Michigan, but the northwest corner of it. The main focus today is I've had a lot of requests about my solar system, especially from a Facebook group I belong to, Schoolie Nation. A lot of people building schoolies and want some information on how people have done their system. So you know, I'm on the lower usage end of the spectrum for power. I thought I'd give people a little walkthrough. So here's what we got. Excuse me. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll recognize these panels. This is one of my original ones. It's 180 watt, 24 volt. I did have two of these, but one of them tore loose and disappeared somewhere in Texas, and so I replaced it with this one, and it's anchored a little bit better. This is a 300 watt 24 volt. So I went from 360 to 480 watts of solar, and my system is charging up much better. So let's I've got them hooked up in parallel, but I do have them set up with a the negative goes in, they're joined together, but the positives go down separately. So let's go down inside and I'll show you why I did it that way. Okay, so inside here, this is my all my control center. This is underneath the dinette set and so on. The reason I have the panels, the power coming in on two separate lines, I have two shunts. They're back in behind the wall, and that meter up here, this amp meter right here, will show me that I can go rear panel or front panel and see if they're pulling in power. I need to replace that with a 10 amp one because a 30 amp is barely moving the needle. Tells me it's something, but it doesn't tell me a lot of details. But I can get those details down here. Once they go through the shunts, they join up and come in here. They go through a circuit breaker. This one's a 50 amp. Chances of me ever having more 50 amps coming in through there, unless it gets hit by lightning or bare wire or something, and that's there to protect everything else. So I can kill the whole system coming in this way. So it goes into the Midnight Solar, the kid. It's an MPPT controller, which means it'll take the voltage coming in off the roof and change it to something that can be used to charge the batteries. So right now, I'm waiting for it to cycle around through. I'm getting 2.7 amps in, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Just wait for it to come around. I got 14 volts solar is what's going down into here at 41 watts. 34.8 volts is what's coming off the roof, and it's 14.1 going down into the batteries. Yeah, you want it higher than 12 volt going on the batteries to charge it. All of this is configurable. I can also set it so that if the batteries get down to 50% or close to it, it'll shut the system right down. Which it did happen the other day because, like I said, I've been under the trees for quite a bit. So anyway, it comes out of here, it goes down to my battery bank, which is down under the seat here. And what I'm using is are three Interstate deep cycle batteries. They're the SRM-29s. I got a deal on them because I have a friend who sells them, and the price for each of these was the same price as one 6 volt Vulcan, I think it was, golf cart battery. So to my mind, I needed two of those and for the same amount of storage. So it made more sense to me to do this. Plus I got a heck of a deal. They are set up in parallel. So negative to negative, positive to positive. I've got everything feeding off of the center here. And The shunt over here is hooked into this Cat 5 cable, goes up to the battery monitor up above. We'll get to that. So it comes back up through, goes through this switch, so I can kill the feed to everything right here. I set it up this way so I could isolate this. I can isolate the batteries. I can isolate the panels. Whatever I need to do. So anyway, it comes back up through here. It goes back out to my fuse box and out to the whole system. I put the light in here just so if I needed to work, I would have this nice light in here. The only thing in the whole schoolie is this 110 volt is that battery charger. I'm plugged in right now. It's not even doing anything. It's on, but it's not set to charge. But this little relay right here, that when I'm plugged into shore power, turns that light on up there and one above the driver, so that just at a glance, if that light's on, the one above the driver's on, I know the power is still working. So let's see, that is the my Trimetic TM2030-A. It's a battery monitor. Right now my batteries are at 93%. They're 13.7 volts, and about 3/4 of an amp is coming in from the solar. If at night, when there's no power coming in, this will show a negative of what I'm using, and usually what I'll do is I'll leave it on this during the day to get an idea of whether I got enough power coming in. I parked in the shade, something like that. If it goes negative during the day, then I may want to move or something. And then again, 93%. So at night, I'll have it on this, and that gives me a good idea of what my system's doing, how much power I have, what I'm using. Those batteries are 88 amp hours each, so that's what, 264 amp hours total. And normally at night, even with the refrigerator's going, all that, lights on, maybe the computer's going, I'm only drawing about 4 amps. If everything's off, everything's unplugged except for obviously the refrigerator and the parasitic drain from a couple little lights and stuff around here, I'm usually pulling in about 1 amp. So, you know, over the course of quite a few days, I've got plenty of power. And again, I've got it down to 86% and driven down a nice sunny road, and by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, this time of year when the days are long, it's been fully charged. So, but that's an overview of my solar system. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments down below, and I'll answer them as fast as I can. So I'll see you later, YouTube.